Starting April 2nd, the cost of buying a car in America could skyrocket. A 25% tariff will hit all foreign-made vehicles. And if that wasn't bad enough, auto parts are on the chopping block too. That means even cars assembled in the US could see price hikes, as critical components like engines, transmissions, and electronics are often sourced from abroad. But here's the real question. What even counts as an American car anymore? Because with today's global supply chains, no car is 100% made in the USA. Even models built on American soil rely on parts from Canada, Mexico, and beyond. So before you assume your ride is safe from these tariffs, let's take a closer look at just how interconnected North America's auto industry really is, and why this new policy could shake things up for everyone. Most American buyers prefer to purchase an American-made car and are even willing to pay a premium to support the domestic economy. Well, when you think of an American car, what comes to mind? A rugged Ford F-150? A muscular Chevrolet Camaro? Or maybe a luxurious Cadillac Escalade? Well, what if I told you that your so-called American car might not be as American as you think? And now, with the new 25% Trump tariff on imported vehicles and parts, this complex system is about to get even more complicated. A single car is made up of thousands of parts, and those parts don't all come from one country. In fact, North America operates as a tightly woven automotive network, thanks in large part to trade agreements like the former NAFTA and now the USMCA. The best-selling vehicle in the US, the Ford F-150, is often seen as the ultimate American truck. But take a closer look, and its production tells a different story. The aluminum body panels come from Kentucky, while the engine might be built in Ohio or Ontario, Canada. The 10-speed automatic transmission? A product of both the US and Mexico. Even the electronic components come from suppliers in Mexico. This deep interdependence means that if tariffs disrupt the supply chain, the cost of America's favorite truck could climb significantly. The Chevrolet Camaro, an icon of American muscle, is assembled in Lansing, Michigan, but its parts are far from purely domestic. Its engines originate in New York or Mexico, while the manual transmission is imported from Asia, making it especially vulnerable to the 25% tariff. The automatic transmission? Built in Mexico as well, adding yet another layer to its international DNA. Even in the luxury segment, the Cadillac Escalade, a hallmark of American opulence, isn't entirely homegrown. While its final assembly takes place in Arlington, Texas, its 6.2-liter V8 engine is produced in both the US and Mexico, and its transmission relies heavily on Mexican manufacturing. Despite their branding, these vehicles are built through a complex North American supply network, where international cooperation has long been the norm. Even Tesla, a company known for being American-made, isn't exempt from this reality. The Tesla Model 3 is built in California and Texas, but its batteries come from Nevada and even China. The Tesla Model Y, one of the brand's best-selling models, shares similar global sourcing, with components from Canada and Mexico as well. And it's not just American brands. The Toyota Tacoma, one of the most popular midsize trucks, is assembled in Mexico, but with an engine built in Alabama. Meanwhile, the Honda CR-V, a top-selling SUV, is put together in multiple North American plants, including the US and Canada, using parts from all over the region. The cross-border movement of individual car parts is even more complex than full vehicle assembly. According to sources, an engine, transmission, or other automotive component might cross the US-Canada and US-Mexico borders as much as 7 or 8 times before it ends up in a finished vehicle. Take engine pistons, for example. Raw aluminum might be sourced from Canada, then shipped to a US plant for casting and initial machining. After that, the unfinished pistons could be sent to Mexico for precision finishing and coating before returning to the US or Canada for final assembly in an engine. Transmissions follow a similar path. A GM 10-speed automatic, used in models like the Chevy Silverado and Cadillac Escalade, has components made in the US, but gears and casings might come from Mexico, with final assembly happening in both countries. Even wiring harnesses, a critical yet overlooked part of every modern vehicle, often start as copper mined in the US, which is then processed into wiring in Mexico and later installed into cars assembled back in the US or Canada. These multi-step, cross-border supply chains keep costs down and ensure efficiency, but they also mean that tariffs on just one component could impact prices far beyond a single part. So why does this matter? Because it challenges the way we think about what makes a car American or foreign. The truth is, North America functions as one massive production hub where manufacturers take advantage of each country's strengths. Mexico for labor-intensive assembly, Canada for engineering and powertrain production, and the US for advanced manufacturing and design. This deep integration has benefits. It keeps costs down, creates jobs across all three nations, and allows for faster innovation. But it also makes the industry vulnerable. Any disruption, like a supply chain issue in Mexico, the current Trump tariff and trade dispute between countries, that increase the cost of imported components, can send shockwaves through the entire sector. And if prices rise, who pays for it in the end? The consumer. The Cars.com American-Made Index evaluates vehicles based on multiple factors, including their assembly location, the percentage of US and Canadian-sourced parts, such as engines and transmissions, and their overall impact on domestic manufacturing jobs. Notably, due to regulatory guidelines from the American Automobile Labeling Act, parts from Canada and the US are grouped together, further highlighting the deep integration of North America's automotive supply chain. The Tesla Model Y, which tops the Cars.com American-Made Index, is assembled at Tesla's plants in Fremont, California, and Austin, Texas. While Tesla is often viewed as an American automaker, its supply chain is far from exclusively domestic. The Model Y's battery packs, which are crucial to its performance, are produced at Tesla's Nevada Gigafactory, but many of the raw materials, especially lithium, cobalt, and nickel, come from global sources including China, Australia, and Canada. The electric motors and drivetrains are primarily assembled in the US, but some of the electronic components, such as semiconductors and chips, are sourced from Asia. Despite these international components, the Model Y qualifies as the most American-made due to its high percentage of US and Canadian parts and its domestic workforce impact. Similarly, the Tesla Model S, another top contender on the list, is also assembled in Fremont, California. This luxury EV features many of the same domestically manufactured components as the Model Y, including its battery packs and motors, but like its smaller sibling, it remains dependent on an international supply network for raw materials and specialized components. Another strong performer in domestic production is the Honda Passport, which is assembled in Lincoln, Alabama. Honda, a Japanese automaker, has established a significant manufacturing footprint in the US, with many of its vehicles ranking high on the American-Made Index. The Passport, a mid-size SUV designed primarily for North American consumers, boasts a high percentage of US and Canadian content. Its 3.5-liter V6 engine is built in the same Alabama plant, along with its 9-speed automatic transmission, making it one of the most American-assembled vehicles despite being a foreign brand. The Toyota Camry, another foreign nameplate with deep American roots, is built in Georgetown, Kentucky. Toyota has invested heavily in U.S. production, and the Camry, one of the best-selling sedans in America for decades, benefits from a largely domestic supply chain. Its engines are produced in West Virginia, while its transmissions are built in both Kentucky and Indiana. The Camry's high ranking underscores how foreign automakers have embedded themselves into the U.S. manufacturing economy, sometimes more deeply than some American-branded vehicles that rely on extensive foreign sourcing. Meanwhile, Volkswagen made a significant leap in U.S. content by shifting ID.4 EV production from Germany to Tennessee. Other foreign automakers like Nissan have also increased their U.S. sourcing, while GM, Ford, and Stellantis have seen declines in domestic content. The Ford Maverick and Bronco Sport are both assembled in Mexico, as is the Mustang Mach-E, which comes from a separate Mexican plant. Even GM's Cadillac, an iconic American luxury brand, has its Buick Encore GX and Envista built in South Korea. Meanwhile, the GMC Sierra 1500 may come from either Roanoke, Indiana, or Silao, Mexico, while the Chevrolet Silverado 1500 could have final assembly in the US, Mexico, or Oshawa, Ontario, making the concept of an American-made truck more complex than it seems. These examples illustrate that being American-made is no longer just about branding. It's about the entire supply chain and manufacturing impact across North America. The United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, currently provides temporary relief for automakers importing vehicles, as USMCA-compliant auto parts remain tariff-free, for now. However, this could change once the Commerce Department finalizes tariff regulations, potentially increasing costs for manufacturers and consumers alike. Even those not in the market for a new car may feel the impact, as many replacement parts come from China and Mexico, which could drive up repair costs and insurance premiums due to rising expenses for mechanics and body shops.